the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
And one time, hey, throw your hands.
What is good, YouTube? This your boy Aaron from the Courtside View podcast, and today I'm doing a special episode. You guys saw yesterday with the episode, the length wasn't to the normal degree where it was 25 minutes, so I'm gonna do another episode today on Friday, give you guys the rundown of all the news that happened yesterday and stuff like that. Brian's not gonna be here today because he's busy right now, so it'll just be me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my voice and just me alone. And let's get down to business. And also, just one announcement. I will try to live stream my reaction to the Lakers versus Thunder game on Tuesday, right? So while the game is going on, I'll be live streaming. So while you're watching the game, make sure to go on YouTube, tune into my stream. And yeah, because as we all know, LeBron James is getting closer to the scoring record. And so I want to make sure that I have my reaction, especially since I'm a Laker fan. So hopefully you guys enjoy that as well, and make sure to tune in as things are going on. But anywho, let's get down to business. And today I want to talk about just the announcement of the All-Star Reserves list. And it's interesting, right? Because there's some players that I had on my prediction list when it comes to All-Star Reserves that weren't on the list. And so let's just get down to the details, right? And number one, what surprised me the most was Drew Holiday. And because I thought that they were going to put Jalen Brunson in it, I thought that Jalen Brunson deserved to be on the list. He's been playing really good basketball this year. Every time I turn on the television screen and watch the Knicks, he's always doing damage. He's always making a play. When they need a bucket the most in the fourth quarter, they go to Jalen Brunson, not Julius Randle. When they do go to Julius Randle, we all know what that's going to happen. So I just felt like Jalen Brunson, what he's done this year, 23 points per game, 6 assists, shooting 46% from the field, 40% from three, shooting from remarkable percentages. And he has sort of changed life with the New York Knicks on the offensive end, right? They haven't had a point guard of this degree since Jeremy Lin, and that was for like maybe a 9 or 10 game run. So having him in the lineup, alleviating some of the load off of Julius Randle, because generally it's really him and RJ Barrett. It adds sort of a different dimension to Julius Randle's game as well, having a point guard that can dish out assists, that can create his own shot, made the game easier for him. And so you see Julius Randle, he's having another great year, a really solid year for his mark, and that's why he's in the All-Star game. And I picked Julius Randle to be on the All-Star game, so I'm not really mad about that one. But I just think that Drew Holiday, I understand the argument. His team is like top 2 in the West. Ever since like around December, he's been really hooping, and January. And so he's averaging 19 points, 7 assists. Defense, tremendous, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And also just he's shooting the ball with tremendous efficiency from the field. Three-pointer, 36%, pretty solid. But again, I just think that Jalen Brunson, he's been consistent from game one to now from the offensive end. I understand can't hold a candle to Drew Holiday from defense, but just what he's done with the Knicks, I just feel like, and then the fact that they are the 7th seed, I just feel like Jalen Brunson got hold, and he should be on the All-Star Reserves list, in my opinion. But I understand the argument for Drew Holiday. I just think that Jalen Brunson deserved to get in. And then also DeMar DeRozan. This is where it gets a bit confusing for me, because I thought that the coaches, like, they value winning a lot. And so you don't put Jalen Brunson in, who has his team as the 7th seed and a game out from having his team in the 6th seed. And then also you leave out James Harden, whose team is, I believe it's the 3rd seed. And I think one game out or close, or however many, not too far from the 2nd seed. And they've been playing really good basketball. You put DeMar DeRozan in there. Now, DeMar DeRozan, his numbers are tremendous. 26 points, shooting 50% from the field, but his team is the 10th seed. So do you value winning or not? I'm confused. And James Harden, he's 21 points, 10 assists. I think he's shooting 46% from the field, 36% from three, I believe. His numbers are pretty good. Like, they're really good, and his team's winning. So I'm a bit confused about just the thought process of these coaches, because I thought they value winning the most. But you're contradicting yourself by putting DeMar DeRozan in there, whose team is the 10th seed, and James Harden's team is the 3rd seed. So I'm confused. It makes no sense to me, but that's how the game works. This is why there needs to be a criteria for how these coaches determine who should be an all-star game, because you get a lot of stuff like this where players are left out because coaches value something that the other player didn't do for some whatever reason. So that's how the game works. So the Western Conference, I think it's worse, because I'm just looking at Jaren Jackson Jr. and Paul George. I don't think that they deserve to be in it either. Now, Paul George, he's averaging 23 points, shooting the ball with great efficiency. I think he's shooting like 38. Matter of fact, let me look at the numbers. I have them right here. What am I talking about? So, yeah, Paul George, he's averaging 23 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 steals, 46% from the field, 38% from three, 86% from the free throw line. So, yeah, really good numbers. Those are all-star worthy numbers. But I think that there's other players that deserve to be in that spot over Paul George. And I'm talking about Anthony Edwards and De'Aaron Fox. Because these guys have, number one, Anthony Edwards has been carrying the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're in the 6th spot right now. The 6th spot, and he doesn't have Karl-Anthony Towns. They're actually playing better basketball without Karl-Anthony Towns. Think about that for a second. And he's the driving force of that team. Like, Anthony Edwards, he's shooting the ball tremendously as well. He is averaging 25 points per game, 6 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists. And he's shooting the ball 46% from the field and 37% from three. So I don't want to hear this argument, oh, well, Paul George, he's in it because he has better numbers. Like, no. Anthony Edwards has better numbers than Paul George, arguably better numbers than Paul George, and he's carrying his team to the playoffs. It's 6th seed right now. What argument can be made for why Paul George should be in there over Anthony Edwards? It's just a bias to me. They're just being biased. I just don't understand it, and it makes no sense to me. And he's played 54 games. So there's no legitimate argument why Paul George should be there over Anthony Edwards, besides the fact that they just like Paul George more. It's just a bias thing. And then De'Aaron Fox. Why is De'Aaron Fox not in the All-Star game? It makes no sense to me. Because his team is the 3rd seed in the Western Conference, and he's one of the major reasons why they're the 3rd seed. And he keeps getting hold every year. Like, every year he has all-star worthy numbers, but because I guess he plays in Sacramento, these coaches turn a blind eye on him. Like, dude is averaging 24 points per game, 6 assists, 1 steal, 50% from the field. So what's the argument? 3rd seed, great numbers. What is the argument why De'Aaron Fox shouldn't be in the All-Star game over a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. or Paul George? Jaren Jackson Jr. is averaging 16 points per game, 6 rebounds. I think he's the league in blocks, 3.3 per game, right? And then he's shooting the ball with great efficiency, right? But at the same time, the Memphis Grizzlies have been struggling these past 10, 11 games. They've been really losing games. But the Sacramento Kings, on the other hand, they've been staying afloat, remaining at the same position that they are, the 3rd seed. So I don't understand the argument for why this player, Jaren Jackson, is over De'Aaron Fox. And then Anthony Davis, on the other hand. Now, I understand why they wouldn't put Anthony Davis in it, the amount of games that he missed. But I don't think Jaren Jackson should be over Anthony Davis, for the simple fact that if you look at the minutes played, right, they're damn near identical. Like, they're so close from one another with the amount of minutes that they played. And Anthony Davis, by far, is the better player. Like, that's... If you think that Jaren Jackson Jr. is better than Anthony Davis as a player, then you're smoking crack, because there's no other way you don't watch basketball. Because Anthony Davis is shooting the ball efficiently. He's averaging like 27 points, like 10, 11 rebounds. He's been one of the best defenders in the league. If he remained healthy, he'd probably be in the Defensive Player of the Year debate, argument, whatever you want to say it. Jaren Jackson Jr. should not be over those three guys. Anthony Davis, he should not be over Anthony Edwards or De'Aaron Fox. So, yeah, they need some type of criteria because this is atrocious what I've seen. Because there's no way in hell you can say to me that Paul George and Jaren Jackson Jr. should be in over those three guys that I named. But everybody else, I had no problem with. Just looking at the list from the Eastern Conference side, they had Bam Adebayo, Jaylen Brown. I have no problem. I actually was thinking about putting Bam in there. He's had a tremendous year. The Heat are the 6th seed. He's been probably the most consistent player when it comes to availability and also performance-wise. So I'm not mad about that. He well-deserved for Bam Adebayo. Tremendous defender. Jaylen Brown, again, that's obvious. Like, everybody had Jaylen Brown in the All-Star game. DeMar DeRozan, can go either way. His numbers are tremendous, but I just think that for me personally, I wouldn't have had him in there. Joel Embiid, no brainer. Like, he should be a starter for crying out loud. Tyrese Halliburton, I had Tyrese in there. Drew Holiday, still not a believer. Julius Randle, had him in there again. He's been playing really good basketball. Western Conference, disagree with Paul George. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he should be a starter, honestly. Like, he deserves to be a starter. He's one of my favorite players to watch this year. Just his skill set, his ability to get to any spot on the floor, mid-range assassin. He has that old school game that I like when it comes to getting post fadeaways, a mid-range shot, getting to a spot. Like, he has it all. Like, he has that old school 2000s game, which I like. Jaren Jackson Jr., disagree with. Damian Lillard, I agree with. I had him in there. Larry Market, I'm glad he got in there because he's been tremendous for the Utah Jazz. Most improved player in my opinion. He deserves it. Ja Morant, no question about it. You could argue he should be a starter. And Domantas Sabonis also had him in there because he's been tremendous as well with the Kings. And yeah, those are the only guys I have a problem with is Paul George, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Drew Holiday and DeMar DeRozan. So 4 guys that I have a problem with. But everybody else is pretty solid. It's a pretty solid list. So yeah, that'll do it for the reserves list. Now I want to react to 2 games that I was watching last night. And I want to talk about the Lakers versus the Pacers game. And I know I'm talking about Lakers again. But, this is the Lakers. We got to talk about the Lakers. So, this game, again, another game that came down to the wire for the Lakers. They can't help themselves. It's always a close game when it comes to this team. And so, like always, they get down big, get that fake comeback, and normally they would lose because they would do something stupid or the refs would not make a call or make a dumb foul or a dumb call, right? It's always something dumb that happens. But this time, we got away with one. We really did because the Pacers, they weren't able to execute at the end. Darvin Ham got lucky that the Pacers weren't able to exploit the 3-guard lineup. Don't know why Darvin Ham keeps doing this 3-guard lineup in crunch time. Makes no sense. I would rather have Roy Hachimura. Guys, the Lakers traded for him for a reason. More size, athleticism, can shoot the ball, create his own shot. Makes no sense to me. But hey, Darvin Ham, he loves that 3-guard lineup. But yeah, LeBron, he did his thing in the second half, made that clutch 3. Finally got a call. he only shot free throws once, right? He had that one call at the end, which is crazy, right? He had no calls until the final minute of the game. Just absurd from the refs. They just keep doing this man dirty at the end. But Anthony Davis, he had 31 points, 14 rebounds, 48% from the field. Did his thing. Tremendous. Just absolutely tremendous. And Patrick Beverley, he hit a clutch shot at the end. Dennis Schroeder, he did a little bit of things as well. But when it comes to Russ, I'm not a believer that you should have Russ in these sort of settings at the end because he's a detriment more than an asset when it comes to the fourth quarter. He keeps doing it. I just don't understand. Tyrese Halliburton, he came back in the fold. He did his thing. He had 26 points, 12 assists. At the end of the game, when AD was guarding Tyrese Halliburton, I was like, I like this matchup. Because, first of all, I'm not a believer that Tyrese Halliburton has the quickness to get a step on Anthony Davis. And his jump shot, as fast as it is, it's a fast release, right? It's ugly and it's easy to block. So I was like, okay, he's not gonna get a 3-pointer off on Anthony Davis. And if he does, it's gonna be a terrible look. And then also, he's not gonna be able to just easily drive past Anthony Davis. He doesn't have the quickness to be able to drive past Anthony Davis. So when I saw that Anthony Davis blocked the shot, I wasn't surprised at all, because I knew just Anthony Davis is a different beast. He's a different animal. One of the best defensive players in the league. So I was definitely happy about that. But yeah, the Lakers, they got off one. They got very fortunate that the Pacers, they just weren't able to execute at the end. And the Lakers, the thing with the Lakers is that, okay, we won 2 in a row. Let's get to 5 wins in a row, because the margin of error is very slim for us. We have to win the games that we're supposed to win. You have LeBron, you have Anthony Davis. Damn near everybody's healthy. We're just missing Austin Reeves, who might be coming back Saturday. We have to get wins, because if we keep winning 2, losing 2, winning 1, losing 2, and staying where we are right now, we're not going to make the play-in. We're not going to make the playoffs. And so the goal right now for the Lakers, win 5 in a row. Win 5 in a row, and I guarantee you we'll be in a better position. Well, obviously, of course. But we might be in the playoffs. Shoot, we went 5 in a row. Right now we won 2. We have the Pelicans, we have the Thunder, we have the Bucks. But we have the Bucks at home. Got to get these W's, because the West is wide open. There's the separation between each seed is very close. So if you get a good week of winning, you can see yourself as like the 6th or 5th seed. So it's very imperative. It's very important that the Lakers take advantage of this opportunity and get the wins. Everybody's healthy now. There's no excuse. And then there's a trade on the horizon. You never know. There might be a trade on the horizon as well to help out with the team. So we have to get as many wins as we can if we wouldn't even have a chance to make the playoffs and to compete. So yeah, that's the Lakers. That's Laker talk. Also, LeBron, 63 points away from passing Kareem. Like I said in the beginning, I'll try to live stream while the game is on. So get my live reaction to everything. It's incredible. He's also top 4 in assists, past Steve Nash. LeBron is just, there's never going to be another LeBron. That's all I got to say on that matter. All right, so let's go to the next game. Clippers versus the Bucks, right? And I was a bit frustrated at first, because just looking at the way that Milwaukee played in the first quarter, I think at one point they were down by like maybe 20 to Clippers, and they weren't hitting shots at all. Giannis, he wasn't playing his best basketball. So I was very concerned. But then the second half rolled around, and Giannis just was different in every way. He had 34 points in the second half. Unbelievable. Had 54 points, 19 rebounds. There's a reason why he's the best player in the world, the undisputed best player in the world. Everybody is fighting for second place, because this guy right here, from an offensive and defensive perspective, is just on a different level. And the 2 stars for the Clippers didn't show up at all. They were inefficient, ineffective. Kawhi Leonard in the second half had 6 points. Paul George, had 8 points. Shot, they're just not efficient at all. 3 for 15 from the field from Kawhi. Paul George, 3 for 9 from the field. They didn't show up at all. And so the Clippers, they're an interesting team, because every year people pick them to win. I picked them to go to the championship as well, but it's not looking too good. It really is not. And part of that is because of their star players constantly being out for injury, load management, not getting chemistry with the players, the players not knowing exactly what their role is, not getting used to the role. And this is the consequences that they have to face. The fact that they keep load managing with Kawhi and Paul George not playing back-to-backs. This is what's going to happen. And I'm not pitying them. I don't feel bad for them at all because they did this to themselves. And now they're paying for the repercussions. They still have opportunity to get a top 3 seed. It's not far reach. I mean, they're still over 500. They're a top 5 seed right now. So it's not like they're too far off. But just the way that they've been operating these past 3 years, I'm just not a fan of it. I just am. I'm not. Yeah. Clippers, we'll have to see in the playoffs, I guess. They just wait until the playoffs, right? Just wait in the playoffs. But yeah, right now it doesn't look too well. But yeah, let's go to let's transition a bit, and let me see. I got some football discussions as well, right? And let's talk about Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. So, on the last episode, we talked about just Tom Brady's retirement and him not being in the league anymore. He finally said, you know what? I'm old now. I want to be with my family. It's time to walk away from the game on his own terms, which is very beautiful. Especially, you don't normally see players walk away from their own terms. It's usually the league says, no, you're done. You're done. Or you have to be a backup. So I'm glad Brady was able to walk off his own terms. But that's not what I want to discuss. What I want to discuss is, can Patrick Mahomes overtake Brady as the best quarterback of all time? Right? That's the whole argument, because what Patrick Mahomes is doing is unprecedented, right? Only the Patriots with Tom Brady has ever done it. 5 straight AFC title games. 3 Super Bowl appearances in like 5 years. It's ridiculous. It's unheard of. And so, can Patrick Mahomes catch Brady in terms of accomplishments, in terms of maybe even Super Bowl rings? Can Patrick Mahomes be widely regarded as the GOAT? Now, for me personally, I don't think so. I think that this is going to be a LeBron, Michael Jordan argument, where Patrick Mahomes, he'll have the accolades, he'll have more accolades, he'll have the all-time points, right? Passing yards, passing touchdowns, he'll have that all over Brady. But I think that the Super Bowl rings will keep Patrick Mahomes from being widely regarded as the GOAT, the best quarterback of all time. And it'll be similar to how we debate LeBron and Michael Jordan. Because let's face it, right? Number one, the advantage Mahomes has when it comes to padding up stats, right, is because they have extra game. So there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to catch Brady on the passing yards and the passing touchdowns. Because Brady, he's the all-time leader in passing yards, all-time leader in passing touchdowns. So that in itself, he could chase that. But when it comes to Super Bowls, now it becomes a different argument, because Brady, I believe he has the most Super Bowls ever with 7. Nobody thought that somebody would even reach 7. Think about this. People were astonished by Brady having 6, having the same number of Super Bowls as Michael Jordan has NBA championships. To be able to have one more Super Bowl than Michael Jordan has championships is unreal, because winning a Super Bowl, in my opinion, is harder than winning an NBA championship. Not to say that NBA championships aren't hard to win. Like, obviously, a team game is a team game, and it goes. A lot of different things have to go into winning an NBA championship. But I think with the Super Bowl, 53 guys on the roster, you have a hard cap. You can't go over the cap to keep certain players. So it's very tricky to win a Super Bowl because of that nature, of that sort of reality. And the fact that Brady was able to win 7 in different eras, it's very hard. It is. And then the longevity, playing until he's 45, winning a Super Bowl at 44, and beating Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So imagine if, like, LeBron and Michael Jordan played each other in the NBA Finals, right? And Michael Jordan beat him. Like, think about that for a second. Like, there will be no argument. Like, there's still some argument with LeBron and Michael Jordan because of LeBron's accolades and accomplishments and just his availability over time, playing for so many years. But Tom Brady has the accolades. He has the availability, being there over time, playing for so many years. He has the rings. So he's basically like, he has Michael Jordan's rings and he has LeBron James stats, career stats. How the hell do you beat that? Now, Patrick Mahomes, I said it again, if he plays long enough, he'll probably catch Tom Brady in those stats. But the Super Bowl rings and the fact that he beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, regardless of the circumstances, he beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. So it'll be very, very difficult for Patrick Mahomes to overtake Brady as the GOAT, because a lot of things need to happen in his favor. And we don't know if Andy Reid will still be the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs 10, 15 years from now. He might be gone. He might be retired by then. So it's going to take a lot of luck. For crying out loud, the Patriots, they had a lot of luck winning 6 Super Bowls. Right? Tom Brady had a lot of luck. And with Patrick Mahomes, we see these past 5 years, he's made it to 3, but he's only won 1. And the other one, his offensive line was banged up. So a lot of variables need to happen in his favor in order for him to be able to get to 7, even win 4. Tom Brady went to 10 Super Bowls, won 7 out of 10. And as we know, with the media and with the general public, they don't look at, oh, this guy has all these all-pros, right? This guy has all these Pro Bowls. They don't look at that. They don't look at the MVPs. Because if we look at it from an objective perspective, Peyton Manning has more MVPs, more All-Pros. I don't think he has more Pro Bowls because he hasn't played long enough. But he has more All-Pros, more MVPs than Tom Brady. But who's the GOAT? It's Tom Brady because of the rings. We never talk about that. Aaron Rodgers has more first-team All-Pros, more MVPs than Tom Brady. But do we talk about that? We act like Aaron Rodgers is a bum. But we don't talk about that. We talk about the Super Bowls. We talk about the Super Bowl appearances, the clutch plays that he's made. And that will be the determining factor for Patrick Mahomes. Unfortunately, that's the way that we look at it. This is not the NBA where we take MVPs to account, where we take numbers into account. That's just not how it is. It's, did you win the Super Bowl? How many Super Bowl rings do you have? Ring culture is more prevalent than ever in the NFL, and I just think that it's a tall task to climb for Patrick Mahomes, and I just don't see it. Okay, so for the final topic of today, I want to talk about just Aaron Rodgers. Talked about it last week a little bit in terms of, I think, the trade rumors with Aaron Rodgers. But Tom Brady retired. Tom Brady's not going to be anymore. So things are a lot different. And also Brock Purdy, the injury to Brock Purdy, having Tommy John surgery. I've been hearing sort of an argument regarding, should the Packers trade Aaron Rodgers? Should they not? Are the Packers having different discussions now that Tom Brady is out of the picture? And the question marks regarding San Francisco in the quarterback position, because all those guys are banged up. Jimmy Garoppolo isn't going to be there anymore. So should the Packers run it back with Aaron Rodgers, right, instead of trading him? And that's a tough question. Should the Packers stay with Aaron Rodgers another year? That's a really tough question, because we've seen this story before. They lost to the Lions. It's not like he lost to the 49ers. It's not like he lost to the Eagles at the end. Not like he lost to the Buccaneers with Brady. It was the Lions. And so do I want the Packers to run it back on Aaron Rodgers when you have that enormous contract? He's going to be 39 years old, and he doesn't want to practice in the offseason. It's a tough conversation because I'm conflicted. No more Tom Brady. The 49ers and their quarterback situation. Because you still have, there's not really many obstacles in your way. But at the same time, I thought last year it was a great opportunity for the Packers to get to the Super Bowl. But they weren't able to cash in. They had the number 1 seed. They still weren't able to cash in. I thought the year before they had opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. They weren't able to cash in. Why? Because of the quarterback. I think that although the NFC isn't as much of a juggernaut as it used to be, the Packers should cut bait. Because Aaron Rodgers is up there in age, he's not the same guy like he once was. If this was Aaron Rodgers from 2015, 2014, where he was literally carrying his team, had no defense to speak of, receivers were banged, like Jordy Nelson got injured one year, and so he had to rely on other guys. If this was that Aaron Rodgers, I would say, man, run it back. What the hell? But this Aaron Rodgers is a lot different. He needs a lot of things to go his way in order to win. And I think he's super limited now. Even when he was winning MVPs, he was limited. He's not the same animal. And so I think you have to cut bait with him. I think you have to trade him for the simple fact that you need Aaron Rodgers to be the reason that you win. But you're not set up that way. And that contract, having that much money, you're limited on the things that you can do. And so the Packers, even though the NFC is wide open, I don't believe that it's a good idea to have him remain. I think you have to look at the long term. You have Jordan Love. He's not going to cost a whole lot. And what I'm hearing, they like Jordan Love. They have more confidence in Jordan Love. So I think you just have to trade Aaron Rodgers, get some picks, maybe even some players, and go from there. And then go with Jordan Love like you did when Brett Favre in his whole retirement, I'm going to retire, not retire, and then you traded him to New York. I think you have to do the same thing with Aaron Rodgers because I don't believe that the Packers can win big with Aaron Rodgers anymore. I just don't, especially with that contract. So me personally, as hard as it seems, as conflicted I am on just the idea because it's just the landscape of the NFC, I think that if the Packers want to get better, if they want to eventually reach that goal to compete for a Super Bowl, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that guy. They might win the division. They might get a top 2 seed. But every time they're going to lose in divisional or the championship game. Do you want to always fall short, or do you want to finally get over that hill? And I think that you need to cut bait with the guy that has gotten you another Super Bowl, that has gotten 4 MVPs. It's time to cut bait. You know what they say, always cut bait a year too early than a year too late. And I think it's a perfect time. The Jets owner, he's desperate. Hey, desperate team. It's perfect opportunity to trade him. And so I would trade Aaron Rodgers. I would try to get a package for him and just move on. Because he wants his guys. He has autonomy with the Packers. Like, he's damn near in control of almost everything. And so I think the young guys they need Jordan Love to be the guy, somebody that they can relate to from an age level, because he's like, what is he, 25, 26? So he's not too far off from Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson's age and some other guy's age. They need to cut bait. That's just my opinion, even though the NFC is wide open. So yeah, that'll do it for the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell. Definitely check out the Instagram, because I'll be posting Instagram only stuff on there. Check that out as well. I'm also, just a reminder, I'm going to try to live stream on Tuesday when Lakers play the Thunder on TNT, because LeBron James potentially passing Kareem. So make sure to check that out as well on the YouTube channel. And I'll see you guys next week, either Saturday, Friday, whatever it may be. Just stay tuned, and we will be back for more, and we'll react to some of the sports news from last week. See you guys later. Peace.
I put my life in these sentences. Fucking right, it's either that or life sentences. I'm relatives with Benjamin. I used to give a fuck about my luck when I was innocent. Now what the fuck is up? I'm at your neck like a Pendleton nigga.